Hyperformance. He was introduced to the Crossfit methodology in 2006 and has been doing it ever since. Drew holds a master's degree in exercise science and is certified by the National Strength and Conditioning Association. He is an adjunct professor for health sciences at Armstrong. Drew is married to Jennifer, and they have two awesome sons, Jackson, age 6, and Jacob, age 3. Drew is an avid golfer, and he loves to coach people to better lives. I do believe that. He believes unconditionally in himself and the ability of others. So let's welcome Drew. Come on.
Thank you guys for having me. Can you hear me? Should I talk into the mic? Awesome. So thank you guys for having me. It is a pleasure to be here. I was here at the last Healthy Savannah lunch we had. Nathan got a chance to speak, and I saw some faces then that I see now. You guys are the of making Savannah healthier. You guys, I'm going to challenge you. It's your responsibility to further this cause. Okay? My wife and I decided a long time ago we were going to try to impact as many people's lives as we possibly could. We made an astronomical number. We thought 10,000 people, if we could affect their lives in some facet, then we were doing what we needed to do to make the world a better place. Well, that number's 50,000 now because 10,000 was too easy. All right? Your job is the same thing. Take what we're going to talk about today, learn something from it, even if it's just one little grain of sand of something. Take it with you and spread the gospel of health, because that is going to be the saving for our country. All right, absolutely, absolutely. So, without further ado, gonna back off, right back onto Paula's Healthy Minute, and we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, we all know this is obesity. Okay, you see from the chart that Paula just showed up, obesity is killing us. Obesity is killing our kids. Obesity is making our country the most broke country in the world. All right, we're losing money. We're just oozing money out from our society to battle obesity. All right, and the most important thing is obesity is avoidable. All right, through causes like this. All right, through Georgia Bike, through CrossFit, through exercise in general, through what you guys do daily, we can combat this horrible, avoidable disease. Last time we heard Nathan talk about childhood obesity. It is very scary to think that, according to statistics, one of my children will develop adult onset type 2 diabetes before they turn 18. That is scary, because type 2 diabetes doesn't have to happen. All right, you can avoid that at all costs. All right, it's one of those things that's just, we all know the skills that you need to combat this stuff. It's just having the guts to do it. All right, so we're going to talk about having those guts today. Are we better or are we worse than we were years ago? Okay, think about how society's changed. I don't know if you guys can see this in the back, but to that microchip or SD card, it housed 120 megabytes. That was a lot. That was like 60 pictures, right? All right, in less than 10 years. Now you're housing thousands of times more than that. Now we're in the gigabyte range for the same size card. Okay, so 1,000 more bytes than usual. Our technology improvements has exponentially increased, yet we can't beat a disease that is killing us from the inside out. All right, we can't technology our way out of dying from obesity. All right, we can't technology our way out of type 2 diabetes. Okay, so we can be as smart as we want to. Think about how far technology's come in the past 50 years. Airplanes, geez. Cars, they drive really fast now. It's just amazing how far we've come. Computer, nanotechnologies, even from the medical profession. The amount of surgery we can do with Da Vinci robot at St. Joseph's Candler is amazing. All right, but are we healthier as a society? No, we're worse. We're worse off as a society as far as health goes. The incidence of diabetes, the incidence of avoidable diseases is increasing, even though we're smarter. All right, we need to do something about it. It's okay. It's okay. Society, you've been lied to. All right? For a long time, we were told how to exercise and how to eat and how to do all these things that were supposed to make us healthier. All right? I'm a child of the 80s. Jane Fonda, Thigh Master, big high socks. Girls, don't admit it, but the unithongs that you used to wear to work out in, like the leopard skin, I know. I've seen it. All right? Low fat, remember that? Low fat everything in the 80s, right? Onset of colas and beverages like soft drinks and stuff got really, really big in the 80s. But low fat everything. Lightweight, aerobic only workout is the way to be thinner. You guys all hear this, right? You've all heard it before. Did we get thinner doing that method? No. We tripled our obesity rate since 1980. All right? If you look at the CDC chart on states in the country that have 30% or greater obesity rate, the only one that's left off is Colorado. Every other state, 30% of the population is obese. So BMI, body mass index, over 30. That is ridiculous. We need to change that. We've been lied to over the years about what actually works. All right? So our current model, we just kind of talked about it. Are we healthier than our grandparents? Think about what your grandparents did for work and play and things like that. My parents, thank God, shoved me out the door when I was little. Don't come back unless it's lunchtime or you're bleeding. All right, I want you to be outside, play, run, jump, go get dirty, go in the woods. It was great. I grew up in Savannah, out in Montgomery. It was fantastic. So we had low fat plus aerobic-based exercise. I just call it long, slow distance. And next lunch, Robert Espinoza is going to talk about how to train for a 5K. There is a good way to train for distance. All right, Robert is the man when it comes to that. But I'm talking about like getting on the elliptical in the gym and riding at a nice, moderate, easy pace for like 35, 45 minutes while watching Judge Judy and reading the latest magazine of Cosmopolitan. All right, if that's what your exercise looks like, clearly something's wrong. And then toning weights, less than 10 pounds. It equals health, right? It equals healthy people. Absolutely not. All right, we need a radical change in our exercise routine. Or are we just going to cycle back to what worked in the past? Why did America get into the fitness craze in the 40s? War. We were preparing soldiers to go fight the Germans. Okay? We got more physically fit preparing for war than any other time in history, using high intensity, functional movements performed at a relative high intensity. Look at gym classes back in the 1950s and 60s. What did those guys do? They ran, they jumped, they used those pegboards to climb up stuff. They did calisthenics, they did stuff that was hard, unfathomable in today's gym class. All right? It took work as a gym teacher. All right? You couldn't just roll the balls out and hope the kids get fit. You actually had to do instruction as a gym teacher. That's hard. It's hard to teach people how to do stuff. I would rather roll the balls out as a coach. Fantastic. I can sit in the corner and look at YouTube now. All right? It is important. What worked then, we lost sight of that, but it's working again now. All right? I was going to play a video for you guys of a 1960s. It's a De La Salle High School in California. It's been all over the internet recently, but it's their physical fitness program, and it shows guys like doing push-ups and pull-ups and doing some monkey walks across some bars and things like that, but the internet doesn't work, so just take my word for it. All right, so let's start talking about what fitness is. Well, in order for us to combat this disease of obesity, we got to figure out what fitness is. Nobody's been able to define it for a long time. So we call this our wellness or our sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. All right? So look at all the markers in the middle: blood pressure, body fat, bone density, triglycerides, good and bad cholesterol, flexibility, muscle mass, the list goes on and on. These are all, we can agree, markers of health. Yeah? All right? So people that are sick, tell me a blood pressure of somebody that you would consider sick, high blood pressure. Yeah, 160 over 100. Yeah, fantastic, awesome. 160 over 100. High blood pressure, we'll call that. Good call in the back, nice job. All right? So that would be considered sick. All right, what would be a good blood pressure? 120 over 80. Good job, 120 over 80 in the back. Fantastic. All right, so that would be considered well, right? We're finding people that do constantly varied functional movements at high intensities, blood pressure is at like 90 over 60. That's fit. And they're doing that consistently. In order for them to get sick from fitness, they have to get well first. So getting people fitter, they have to go down to wellness before they get sick. And all of these markers of fitness, all right, it's all about how you train people. We're seeing people that are just starting exercise at the age of 60 decrease markers of health, get off of medicines, all right, doing things they never thought possible because they're pushing their body a little bit harder than they thought they could. All right, this is an important slide to look at. It's all right. You want me to answer that for you? All right, so what is fitness? All right, we got the markers down. What is fitness? It is increases across the board in things like cardiorespiratory endurance. Okay, how efficient are your heart and lungs? Muscle strength. I don't care who you are. Every single person on the planet, whether you're an elite marathon runner or a power lifter, can be stronger. Stronger people are way more useful in life than weaker people. It's true. Help me move this couch, sweetheart. I can't. I'm a runner. No, come on. Let's do it. It's no excuse at all. No excuse at all. And then she would never say that. My wife would never say that at all. She would be the first one to help me out. All right, then you have muscle endurance, flexibility. We're finding people that have never exercised before be able to do a full range of motion, so full hip and knee and ankle function squat. Never before have we seen that. And through this type of exercise, we're seeing that now. All right, speed, power, accuracy, agility, balance, and coordination. These are all markers of fitness. And if you can make improvements in all of that, you're a fit fanatic, and it is fantastic to see. That was a lot of F's. The alliteration is for free. All right? We at CrossFit focus on these 10 things in every single session that we do. All right? We get you cardiovascular fit all the way down to get you more coordinated in the same session. We're efficient, and we get people fitter than anybody else on the planet. All right? Whoa! Sorry, the picture was funny on the conversion from Mac to PC or PC to Mac. So what do we say? So how do we do that? How do we accomplish this task? CrossFit kind of believes in this hopper method of fitness. Imagine taking a bunch of any kind of exercise task imaginable and put it into a big peanut hopper, all right, or a big like lotto ball wheel, all right, and you're going to imaginally pull out these tasks. Okay, people that do CrossFit that are exposed to what we do are going to be good at those tasks. So they train more like a decathlete than they do a marathon runner. We call this type of programming general physical preparedness programming. So just as for your knowledge, the two pictures I have here, the girl on my right, your left, is the 2012 Olympic gold medalist decathlete for the women's. Okay, her name is Jessica Ennis. And then you have Tiki Jelani, who is the world record setting marathon runner from the Olympics, same thing. Okay, body styles are a little bit different. Another more, I think, stunning photograph here is you have our jack of all trades guy on the right, Ashton Eaton, men's decathlete winner. All right, so decathlete is 10 events, right? They do a wide variety of exercising, all right, but they're trying to do those exercises as best as possible. So from an intensity standpoint, it's really, really high versus our Olympic marathon runner. Just look at the body differences here. Now, if running is your thing, all right, you can absolutely take advantage of CrossFit and be a much better runner. Notice I said it was general physical preparedness. All right, how CrossFit works, we'll kind of get right to it, is everything has a pyramid effect. All right, so for that marathon runner, we're going to take the bottom 4 levels of this pyramid, and I'm going to train him there so that he can do his sport or specialty at the top. All right, this is how the CrossFit program looks, or it should look. The bottom is nutrition, okay? And thanks to our wonderful food prep today, it was fantastic. There's a lot of good opportunities to eat healthy today. Great job. Every single athlete, every single fit person in the world starts with a big foundation of nutrition. All right? After that, you go into basic strength and conditioning. Okay, so once you start with that good foundation of nutrition, then you can start building some strength and general conditioning. After that, we start making you more aware of what your body does. So gymnastics or body control. Don't imagine like a gymnastic ring routine. All gymnastic is for us is the ability of you as a human to control your own body through space. Okay, can you walk without falling down? All right, can you hold your hands up over your head and hold this position statically? Can you take your arms out to the side? Do you have full function of your entire body? Yes, fantastic. You're good at gymnastics. Then we have something that's a little bit more ballistic as Olympic weightlifting. So once you build these foundations, then you can start really trying to drive some external objects. Once you build those bottom 4 layers, the sport or your specialty gets easier. So imagine if you're a marathon runner and you get stronger legs. Are you going to be a better marathon runner? The answer is yes. All right, imagine if you're a competitive biker, all right, and I give you a little bit stronger set of lungs from higher intensity work. Are you going to be able to be a more efficient biker? Probably yes, absolutely. So we build these 4 things, okay? We build these 4 foundational elements of CrossFit that you can succeed, or you have the opportunity to succeed at any sport you want, or any specialty at all. All right? The foundation, however, is nutrition. You cannot, I don't care who you are, genetics or anything plays into it, you cannot out-train horrible eating. Okay, and that starts with our school system. I'm glad Lydia's here. She's a representative of our school system, doing a much better job of getting healthier food to our kids. Most of you guys, don't worry, I didn't look at anybody's plate, but it's really hard to out-train that bad diet because everything happens internally, all right? And I can only do so much work on the outside, but it starts with, that's why the nutrition part of our pyramid is the biggest, all right? Our general recommendations for eating, and this is the basis for every single person. This has worked 99.9% of the time for our athletes, is eat real food. If the main ingredient of your food is the food itself, congratulations, it's real. All right? If you have an ingredient list that's longer than most books, probably not a real food. If your food looks somewhat like it does naturally, probably a real food, right? Barring chicken, but we've all seen a chicken breast before. You're not going to go find chickens in Kroger, right? At least not in the Krogers here. Eat real food. I can't say that enough, all right? Food in as real estate as you possibly can. I don't know what chicken McNuggets are. They're not really real food, right? I don't see how that happens to be real food at all. We give our athletes the 1-month challenge. Try to eat only real foods for 1 month, eliminating added sugar. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the brain scans of somebody addicted to cocaine and somebody addicted to sugar. They're the exact same. Cocaine and sugar are just as addictive as each other. And sugar is easier to get. And it's way less expensive. All right? Sugar is our kids. I'm sure you guys have all seen those charts of how much sugar is actually in your drinks. It is just astronomical that we're putting this stuff into our body. Over time, that adds up to weight. And over time, that weight adds up to obesity. And over time, that obesity adds up to disease. And over time, that disease adds up to money out of all of our pockets trying to take care of these people when they get sick. All right? Sugars are one of our number 1 enemies. Usually for folks that come and train with us, we cut out sugar for a month. They start feeling really good. All right? You know that Savannah crud everybody gets, that nasal congestion that we all kind of get from time to time? Imagine if you didn't have to have that. Cutting out sugar, cutting out, for me, it was dairy, a couple like milk, and I love milk, but I had to cut it out for a little bit. I started to clear my nasal passages up. I could breathe in Savannah in the morning time. It was amazing. It was amazing. So now we still do that. Still say as little added sugar as possible, but try to take it away for a month. I challenge you today. Start right now. Try to take sugar away for a month. All right? You're going to have a couple stages to go through. The first one's going to be, oh, week's not so bad. Week 2, you're going to be mad. You're going to be really mad at week 2. It's almost like going to detox. Okay, you're going to start to sweat a little bit. You might get a little bit of headaches in the morning time. And then week 3, you're going to sort of feel better. All right, week 4, you're going to be like nothing ever changed. All right, that's fantastic. That second week, though, if you can get through that, you're going to be a champion. You're going to win every single time. Try it. I challenge you today to do that. So now we have kind of the basis of our CrossFit programming is Metcons or metabolic conditioning. Most people, when they exercise, are stuck into a rut of exercising the exact same way. Well, you've got 3, some people say 4 different energy systems your body uses to get energy. The different kind of fuels they use to get energy to do work. So we have our immediate energy system. I'm not going to go into detail with this stuff. This is not science class. Our immediate energy system, our sugar-based energy system, so glycolysis, and then oxidative phosphorylation is our aerobic system. Most of our folks, and when they just start exercising, they exercise only in the aerobic system. All right, that like 20-plus minute of exercise at a nice, easy pace as they go on the elliptical, reading their magazine, watching Judge Judy. All right, we're finding that you get a lot of aerobic benefit by exercising harder in those first 2 pathways. So I'll get to what that means in just a second. On the flip side, you can't 30-minute elliptical your way to being better at the other 2. All right, so imagine the first energy system, ATP, PC. If you guys want to know what that means, we can talk afterwards. But it stands for adenosine triphosphate phosphocreatine system. Yeah, you're welcome. Imagine that's energy system that's an immediate, and it goes away in about 10 seconds. So a 100-meter sprint, all-out sprint. Okay, your body has fuel for that. The glycolysis system usually lasts anywhere from 20 seconds to 2 minutes. So imagine now a good set of bench press or something like that. It's going to be that type of energy system. And everything else kind of takes over in that aerobic window. When you get stronger in the first 2 energy systems, you make an influence on the third one. It is not vice versa. So the aerobic system has no bearing on the anaerobic system at all. We can go into more detail about that if you guys want to, but trust me. So what is CrossFit? All right, a couple of differences here. There is CrossFit, the entity, CrossFit.com or CrossFit HQ, that has been publishing workouts every single day since 2000 and I think they launched their website in 2003. February 10th, 2003, they've been publishing a workout of the day every single day. They do what's called the CrossFit Games every year in Los Angeles, California. It's like the Olympics for semi-pro exercisers. All right, so you go exercise and you do all these different random tasks, and whoever gets the best score at all these things is declared the winner. That is different than the CrossFit methodology. Okay, we'll talk about the CrossFit methodology. That's what we're going to focus on today. So it's kind of like equating the NFL to everybody else that plays football in their backyard. Okay, we're not trying to be like the guys we see on ESPN. Okay, CrossFit has blown up, and these guys are doing astronomical things and weights that look ridiculously heavy, and they're doing these things on TV, but they are the best in the world at what they do. We're talking about how can I incorporate the methodology of CrossFit, constantly varied functional movements performed at a relative high intensity, into my own life to make my own life better. All right? There are several good CrossFit gyms in this area. If you have never stepped foot into one, all right, I'm going to give them a little bit of press time here too. Go to one of the CrossFit affiliates here. Just try a class out. See if you like it. How we get people started is through one-on-one sessions, but some people will let you just come in and try a class. All right? Go to one and see if you like it. It might change your life. It might. There are several good affiliates in the area. Rincon has them. Savannah's got a couple. Pooler's got them. Richmond Hill has them. Just try it and see if that difference is kind of what you need. We are very fortunate to have a good working relationship with all of the CrossFits in the area. CrossFit, I think Ms. Holland, you said it best, is one of those things that CrossFit's like it's a family atmosphere. When you walk in, you're going to feel like you belong there. You're going to feel like you're part of the club instead of being, I don't know if you've ever been to some local gyms here. It just kind of feels like you're by yourself, like you're just in this little bubble by yourself doing your thing. In CrossFit, you're kind of welcome with open arms to come and join the folks that are doing that because they're going to sweat along with you. All right, now the fun stuff. What actually is CrossFit? Okay, like I've been saying, constantly varied functional movements and high intensity. Let's talk about what that is. So constant variance. Okay, we all, I am guilty too, are in the habit of doing 3 sets of 10. All right, is this your routine? Monday is chest day. All right, go to the gym. Monday is like chest and maybe back, maybe chest and triceps. Tuesday is shoulders and arms. Wednesday is leg day, so you skip it. And then Thursday you do incline chest, right? We've all been there. I'm guilty of that too. 3 sets of 10, you know your weights are going to be, you just knock it out, maybe a little bit of cardio on that Wednesday, and then you're good, right? Good. That's called segmented training. Right? When you segment your training, you get a segmented response. Okay? So you're only going to be good at those things that you do. If my body knows in a month I'm going to do chest press on Monday, it's not going to have to adapt to that at all. So this constant variance piece, this constantly varied, is we change the workouts up daily. Remember those energy systems we talked about? Every single day we use a different energy system as our focus. Some days are going to be super, super fast. The whole workout, granted the session lasts an hour, but the whole workout might last 5 minutes. Some days it's going to be a little longer. The workout's going to last about 45 minutes. All right? The muscles you use on Monday might be the exact same muscles you use on Tuesday. Exercise physiologist gasp. All right? You might not ever do an upper body, lower body split. You might do 3 days in a row of full body work. All right? We're constantly changing the stimulus because the human body is amazing at adaptation. We have been engineered to adapt to stimuli. If my body knows what's coming, all right, it easily adapts to that. If I take it, and this is like a basic principle of training, if I take it to this overload principle, if I give my body a little bit more than it's used to or it wants to do, it goes crazy and it has to adapt. So go a little bit faster than usual. Do one more extra rep than you need to. Get to that point where your arms are kind of shaking a little bit. Get to that point a couple times a week and see how your body starts to react. I bet it's going to be in a positive way. We change that up for our athletes daily. So they're constantly varying. It's not random. It is just constantly evolving, constantly moving. We call it undulating periodization. Functional movements. All right, I want you guys to all put both feet flat on the ground. Okay, go ahead and stand up for me. Okay, I want you to wiggle your toes. Just wiggle your toes for me. Awesome. That shifts your weight back into your heels some. Okay, awesome. I want you to sit back down. Congratulations, you all did a functional movement. Fantastic. That is a squat. All right, that's something that's fundamental to everybody on the planet. You have to be able to do that. You got to be able to use the bathroom. You got to be able to get in and out of your car, right? What we do is teach you how to do that correctly. Teach you how to use your body, all right? So that when you go back and see the people at Virginia College, they're not like, what's going on? Like, you're so tight everywhere. We teach you how to do it. Teach you how to mechanically move your body so you're most efficient. That's all functional is for us. You're going to use these movements whether or not you train them, so we're going to teach you how to do it right. And the last piece is high intensity. All right, for high intensity is relative to you. So that I was talking about earlier, that riding the elliptical, reading a magazine, watching Judge Judy. If you can do that while you exercise, that is not intense. That's just wasting time. Intensity for us is you probably have to take a couple of breaths in between your sentences as you talk to people. That's a little bit better. Even better is when you get the finger. That's intense. That's what we're talking about. But that's something that you build up to and work towards. Now, we've all been there and all need to go there too. Learning how your body kind of adapts to this stuff is great. The goal of CrossFit is going to be increased work capacity across broad time and modal domains. All right, that's what that big acronym stands for. What it looks like is take every imaginable task and chart it. Everything from, you can't read it, but the far right side is high power output things like a 1 rep max deadlift. So pulling as much weight off the ground as you possibly can, all the way over to backpacking the Appalachian Trail. Okay? We're getting good at everything, and our goal is to shift that entire curve to the right, which means improvement, and all of those 10 general physical skills we talked about earlier. That's the goal, is to get better at everything, so that we can prepare ourselves for anything. Science has our back. All right, the ACSM and the CDC just re-released their exercise recommendations. They included CrossFit vigorous intensity exercise in their recommendations. They recommend you exercise for 5 days a week at a moderate intensity, but hey, guess what? 3 of those days I want you to go vigorous. Not Judge Judy, give me the finger. Not the other finger, give me that finger. Like, hold on just a second. All right? Why did they do that? Because they know it works. They know exercising harder than you think you need to works. Safely, though. All right? What we teach and what every CrossFit does teach you is this progression. All right, I'm about out of time. This is like the last slide almost. Okay? We teach you mechanics, how to move first. That is first and foremost. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want, but until you get somebody that's got trained eyes on you to watch you move, it's not going to be effective. All right? We're going to teach you then how to move safely consistently. Can you now replicate that perfect mechanical movement multiple times? Only then is that intensity piece even important. So you learn to move through repetitions, and then you start to increase intensity. And intensity for us is just force, distance, and time. So can you go heavier? Can you go further? Can you go faster? Absolutely. Anything further, faster, and heavier, absolutely. All right? So what did we learn today? You need to eat better. You need to learn how to move your body properly. So that mechanics piece. Exercising at a new intensity. Challenge yourself to get uncomfortable when you exercise. Giving your body a different stimulus. Guess what that does? On the wellness, fitness, sickness continuum, it drops all those markers of fit to fitness levels. Weight gain doesn't exist anymore. You're going to be at a really, really decent body fat. All right? This all equals weight loss and increased health in almost every single aspect. So a couple ways to get started. My wife is here too. One of my good coaches, Kaylee, is also here. You can always start with us. If it's just piqued your interest at all, come and see us. We actually have a great boot camp opportunity that starts on May 2nd. You can come and talk to us about that. And then this is kind of like my mantra. I'm a big Steve Jobs fan. But the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do. You guys, because you're here today and a part of this great organization, think that you are crazy enough to change the world. Guess what? You absolutely are. Thank you very much for your time.